the Bad Boy Mowers battle for Atlantis as part of Feast Week. The Atlantis Resort, Nassau, Bahamas. We're inside the Imperial Arena for number 2 Arizona and SMU meeting in our final matchup of day 2. Lonely win column, 0s for SMU and Arizona. Looking for their first victory of the tournament. Both went down. SMU to Northern Iowa, who is now in the championship game. Arizona, a defeat at the hands of NC State yesterday. And with Paul Biancardi, Kevin Fitzgerald with you, our final matchup of day 2 of the battle for Atlantis. So there it is. It's a loss for Arizona, number 2 ranked team of the country yesterday to NC State. Alonzo Trier, he's the heartbeat of the offense. He's got to take a step forward today against a tough defense.
Yeah, he dropped 27 points last night against NC State, but he struggled from the three-point line. He's dangerous because he can't score the ball from all 3 levels. I expect him to have a big game tonight for Arizona.
Now out of his comfort zone in the first half yesterday against the Wolfpack. He is the preseason All-American for Sean Miller. DeAndre Ayton is the 7-footer. Who will be in the interior for Arizona, number 13 in the red. And away we go, Wildcats basketball to begin. And a quick look right to Ayton. Boy, they surround him on the interior. Parker Jackson Cartwright kept it alive for a moment. SMU with the basketball and a foul. Jackson Cartwright. He bumped Jeray Foster diving for the loose basketball. So wild sequence right out of the gates, Paul.
But if you're Sean Miller, you love the intensity by your team. You know, when you play in these tournaments, you look for bounce back ability.
Yep.
Arizona was upset yesterday by NC State. Will they bounce back tonight against SMU? The first question will be their intensity. There's no question about that on the first possession.
First look for the Mustangs on the offensive side. Shake Milton, the American Conference preseason player of the year. The rebound to Ayton. You're looking for the intensity. What else are you looking for Arizona?
For them to get back to playing Arizona-type defense where they shrink the floor, protect the paint, communicate, and play really great first shot defense. And what I mean by that is when the opposing team puts up a shot, Arizona has traditionally, under Sean Miller, been a very good defensive rebounding team. They were not a good defensive team last night against NC State. They scored 85, but they gave up 90.
Offensive foul. And that is Dylan Smith making his second straight start. Slid right in front of Ethan Shagwa. Back to the Wildcats. Sean Miller has won almost 80% of the games that he's coached at Arizona. Can you only imagine how much he challenged this team after yesterday? Well, in light of the defensive effort you brought up?
Well, we didn't see him at shoot-around today, so I can only imagine what they did in the hotel ballroom without us watching. But I've known Sean since a player at Pittsburgh, an outstanding feisty point guard, an excellent basketball coach at Xavier, brought them tremendous success. And I think he's done an outstanding job at Arizona, not only in his recruiting efforts, but 3 Elite Eights. And this could be the team, if it gels at the end of the season, to get to the Final Four.
Shagwa heads to the bench immediately, 2 fouls. And we keep hearing that. Arizona has been a national power every year Miller's been here. What's different about this year's team collectively?
Well, they have a difference maker when he gets comfortable right there, DeAndre Ayton.
There he is. Boy, he's got great range on the baseline. The 7'1" freshman playing in his hometown.
He's 7'1", but he's most comfortable at 15 feet facing the basket. Broad shoulders, great mobility, a soft touch. He's got to get comfortable with his back to the basket, and he should be the leading rebounder in most games for Arizona.
Jeray Foster staring right at him on the offensive side. Dusan Ristic, the complimentary 7-footer down low.
You're going to get points. Arizona's going to score the basketball this year. That's not going to be an issue.
There's Smith. He likes to shoot. sat out last season after transferring from UNC Asheville. An excellent piece off the bench. Today gets the start.
Well, I got to see him up close at Asheville. It was outstanding in the championship game. Helped Asheville win the Big South Championship. The offensive pieces are there for Arizona, but they got to play defense the way Sean Miller wants it.
This is not the start you want if you're SMU. And Ayton to perhaps put his team up by 9. Jump ball. It's going to go back to SMU. Tim Jankovic's squad down early. This is his second season. Last year won 30 games. Ran through the American Conference. Great measuring stick to see what they can do against the size of Arizona.
And Tim Jankovic led SMU not only to the regular season championship, but the conference tournament. He's kind of ditched the traditional lineup of 2 bigs. He's went to a versatility small ball lineup. He's going to see the pack line defense that they saw last night against UNI. That's the way Arizona plays defense. They're going to have to make some outside shots and score at the rim against the massive size of Arizona.
That was the problem. SMU was 6 of 21. That's it from downtown. So Meligu with the first basket on the other end. Smith is taking his shots early. Foul underneath, and it's the first on Everett Ray. The freshman has been in the starting lineup, has earned his minutes for SMU. And Sean Miller said it. We can't score 84 points and lose like we did yesterday against NC State. And credit the Wolfpack. They played really hard. They got some easy baskets.
I'll tell you what, NC State played with more urgency last night than Arizona, as did Tennessee against Purdue. And we saw this in the earlier game. Western Kentucky, just played with so much passion. And Purdue played with passion when they felt like it. Well, you can't be a feel-like-it team. You got to be an everyday team.
SMU faithful with a nice cheer for Akoy Agal. You just saw number 23 in the white check-in. He is back from an illness and has had him sidelined for the first few games. There he is setting the screen.
He played 2 years at Louisville. Then a year at Georgetown. He gives the Mustangs some much-needed size.
Jimmy Witt is a great rebounding guard, and he finds Ben Meligu. Three-pointer goes down.
Well, 80% of the shots for Meligu are threes. So you got to take away a space. Great pass.
Parker Jackson Cartwright answers from the corner.
Talking about shooting it well from the three-point line. Parker Jackson Cartwright. Now this guy's the leader of this team, but he can really stroke it from 3. 71% coming into the battle for Atlantis.
Probably shouldn't leave him that open.
Not at 71%.
Arizona up 7. The triple goes down.
Alonzo Trier with the drive. Sucks in the defense. Parker Jackson Cartwright for 3. Yeah.
Let's do it. DeAndre Ayton, the third-ranked recruit in the class of 2017 with 4 quick points for the number 2-ranked Arizona Wildcats. He is back home in Nassau. He and his teammates visited Mount Carmel Primary School, not far away from the Atlantis. These kids couldn't wait for the opportunity to speak with Ayton, to ask him some questions. I think he put on a little dunk show for them as well.
Ayton, really a fun-loving kid, loves people, just friendly, outgoing when you get to know him, and he loves being back home. Loves it.
Well, Paul Biancardi is the only other person who gets that type of reception when he returns home. When you go back to Boston, the news crews are there, everybody's waiting.
But the only difference is I don't dunk it when I go back home.
Here's Alex Barcelo, really good point guard off the bench. Sean Miller is high on this freshman.
And a really good shooter.
There's Trier speaking about shooters.
Let's see,
here's the start.
Yeah, Sean Miller so smart. Understanding Alonzo Trier needs his shots from different spots on the floor. Dribble handoff at the free throw line. High percentage shot. Set play. Knocks it down.
Trier.
See the defense by Arizona, it's packed in.
Yep.
So SMU has to do the same game plan they had last night. One dribble, kick it. One dribble, kick it. And keep moving the defense, because that is a big defense, especially in the back line.
Ayton snatches that in the blink of an eye. You have to respect that 18-footer. He will hit it. And right in a moment, gets down the lane and at the line.
Well, DeAndre Ayton, as I mentioned earlier, he's very comfortable and confident facing the basket. He can shoot it from the college 3. I mentioned his mobility, the ability to put the ball on the deck, and how about the footwork to spin in the lane as a 7-footer.
It's not just Ayton. We mentioned Alex Barcelo, and Emmanuel Acott is on the floor. It's in a 5-man class that you've got ranked 3rd best of every college in 2017.
Because Ayton is the superstar, but Randolph, Acott, Lee, Barcelo can all contribute this year in different ways. Barcelo's the shooter. Lee is a terrific energy rebounding guy. Randolph, 6'5", big, who can stroke it. He's just a freshman, but he's going to be very good at Arizona.
Barcelo gets over the screen, Witt quick down the alley. Acott had it momentarily.
You see the hard drives by SMU. NC State really drove Arizona last night. SMU with the same game plan.
Ira Lee blocks the shot, leads the run out, and Trier, that's a mental mistake. He took some steps, but this is a 10-point lead for Arizona. Grade the urgency. They are shot out of a cannon right now, first few minutes.
Well, coming into the battle for Atlantis, Arizona offensively, they haven't had a high assist rate on their field goals. Early in this game, they have 3 assists on 4 field goals. May sound like a minor stat, but it shows they're ready to share the basketball. They're very unselfish.
Trier sits down. He is healthy and has expected a full season ahead of him. Missed some time 2 years ago after breaking his hand. Was, of course, suspended for the first half of last season. It's a luxury to have him for an entire year. Back out to Milton. 5 to shoot. Milton may have been bumped. And he was on the baseline. That's the second team foul on Arizona, and they whistle Acott his first personal.
When you look at the defensive possession that time for Arizona, Ayton a freshman, Acott a freshman. It's hard to get freshmen to rotate defensively. They have a tough enough time guarding their man and seeing the basketball. Arizona good on the perimeter that time, but not in the post defensively.
And you can liken that back to yesterday. That's where NC State scored a lot of its points. Inside. They almost outscored this monstrous Arizona team in the paint yesterday. Another late shot clock situation. and Meligu, not a great look, and Arizona forces him out. Forgot to box out Elijah Landrum, though. Good follow by the freshman from Tulsa.
Just an alert play by Landrum.
Foster picks it out of the air. The three-point specialist knocks another one down, and Meligu.
He's big, he's strong, and he can stretch the floor. He's only about 6'5", 6'6", but he's really put together with a sweet stroke.
Wide frame, too.
Yeah.
Aycott's answer off the mark. And Lee had it jarred loose. So a burst of momentum now for SMU. They're going to need these type of runs. Landrum for three. And the point guard finds Ira Lee.
And Parker Jackson Cartwright, he makes this team go offensively, and if you leave him alone, he's going to make you pay. There's athletes, there's size, there's skill. It just all has to come together in time for Sean Miller.
Milton at the basket and heading to the line.
But that's a big-time take by Shake Milton. You're looking at 6'5".
Back and forth we go. Arizona by 5.
Plenty of athletes in this game. Arizona with some transition basketball. The freshman, a former ESPN 100, Ira Lee, filling the lane. One-step flush. And Shake Milton with the size, the length, the toughness, the body control. The Mustangs with a possible three-point play. Yeah, I just want to see where the defense is. There's no... Oh, okay, I see what it is. Okay. That's called a brush screen. It's really not a ball screen. It's a quick screen, and you have to decide whether you're going to stay or switch on that. If you want to hold that, we can show it again later, or maybe... It's exactly what Ben Jacobson talked about last night. That's a real good inside the play. Because if you watch it, and you freeze it right at the screen... Yep, so that's number 10. Yeah, that's
Foster.
That's Foster. He sets what they call a quick ball screen, a quick brush screen. And what happens here is the two Arizona players, they have to make a decision. Am I going to stay with my man, or am I going to switch this? And they don't do either. Let's take a look at it one more time. Yeah, we can do it, sure. Defense, Arizona defense.
Time to go inside the play. Here's Paul Biancardi.
Well, SMU loves to run these little brush screens where they really don't come together and screen. Defensively, you have to stay with your man, or you have to hedge the screen or switch it, right? There's no hedge, there's no switch. And that's how SMU takes advantage of you off the bounce. It's a quick screen, it's a rub screen. And again, defensively, are you going to stay with your man, or are you going to switch it? And you have to make those decisions on the fly.
The way you think Arizona is going to play SMU today, those baskets at the 10, it'd be hard to come by. Have to convert when they get the opportunities.
No question about it. But the ball movement and the aggressiveness by SMU early has been outstanding. Speaking about aggressiveness, they have 8 offensive rebounds. Arizona, they have a total of 7 rebounds.
Wow. Arizona once led 15-5, so this is a nice little 7-2 run. That was yesterday against Northern Iowa. 3-point loss for SMU. Never could quite sustain that run to get back into the game. Nice cut, Dusan Ristic, shot the baseline.
Well, give the assist on that one to also Alonzo Trier.
Yep.
Sets a beautiful back screen, just bumps the big man, gets his teammate open.
So Alonzo Trier, the preseason All-American with division.
What does Sean Miller do? He takes his best offensive player, Alonzo Trier, sets a back screen for Ristic. Everybody worries about Trier. Ristic at the rim.
Officials were at the monitor to check on the shot clock. Shifted back to 27 seconds. Trier gets that long paw out and knocks it away. Late the shot clock.
Well, that time it was good ball screen defense by Arizona. Alonzo Trier helping his teammate. Ristic helped on the screen. Trier helped him.
8 seconds for Jankovic's team.
There's that brush screen.
No drive this time. Amelagu fading away, and I don't think he got that one off in time. He didn't. Shot clock violation.
Well, SMU runs that little, as I mentioned, rub cut. They really didn't even come together that time. Arizona did a good job of staying with their man. You really have to lock in on this offense of SMU. It's hard to guard off the bounce.
And so 4 Mustangs turnovers. Jackson Cartwright, he's a great distributor. Don't forget, he can hit from outside. He's made 7 of his 10 threes this year. A whistle, and, well, we're going to be looking at the shot clock again. As SMU was bringing it up, it still reads 30 right now. .11:09 in the first. Arizona with the lead. The second-ranked Wildcats fell yesterday to NC State. SMU looking to bounce back after the loss to Northern Iowa. Clock freezes. And now get the stopwatch out. You have to figure out how much time.
You got to get that stopwatch out.
Came off the clock.
And really, that's the most effective way to do it in real time.
Oh, we're picking it up. 11 to go. Amelagu coming off the screen, had time to set his feet. A reach in on Trier.
That's a big-time rebound by Alonzo Trier. The guards have to come down and rebound on long shots. Even though you have Ristic as a 7-footer, Pinder in the game, power forward about 6'7". The guards for Arizona, Trier 6'3 plus, Dylan Smith 6'5". They got a rebound.
Another foul on SMU. That's Ben Amelagu. Talking about this depth, Arizona's still playing without Raleigh Elkins.
Big part of their team, brings a physical presence on the perimeter, an improved shooter. Could be a really good lockdown defender. Played his high school basketball at Christ the King.
On the conference all-freshman team a year ago, and it's just about at that 8-week time frame. His broken foot suffered in September. He should be coming back within the next couple. There's Ristic.
I'll tell you what Raleigh Elkins brings this team. He's a competitor. He does not like to lose, and he'll let his teammates know about it.
Well, he's had 24 hours to pass the message along.
Well, it's a lot easier to pass along when you're on the court.
That 3 goes down, and Amelagu, you got to find him now. 3 triples.
Look, you got to find him, and then you don't leave him. You give too much help off of him, you're going to pay.
And that's helped SMU stay in this game. 6-point ball game. Ristic lost it. Here comes Landrum. Good. Arizona gets back.
Yeah, great defensive transition. Everybody communicated, found a man. SMU has to reset.
Foster, good looking stroke, and he bangs it down.
When this SMU team can make the outside shot, which they do, they average 10.5 made threes per game. It sets up the drive, interchangeable parts. Players from 6'5" to 6'8", they're hard to guard.
That's a carry.
And he did that last night against NC State, Alonzo Trier. Had the same carry on the same side of the floor, the left-hand side. Cannot put that ball to rest in your hand when you're trying to beat the defender off the dribble.
6 turnovers for Arizona. 11 points for Amelagu. He's number 21 in the white. Rest of the team, 3 of 15 from the field.
SMU has weapons. Foster, Witt from the mid-range. Shake Milton is the most dangerous player. Amelagu obviously is a guy you cannot leave for open shots. What he does is he stretches the floor, allows his teammates to drive.
4th team foul a moment ago was on Alex Barcelo. Landrum on the drive. It may have bounced off the Wildcats' shoulder. 4 seconds on the shot clock, and Sean Miller reminds his defense.
You may not get anything at the rim against Arizona, so you may have to have a little curl for a weak side jump shot.
That's Jimmy Witt inbounding. Foster got eaten up in the air. Keanu Pinder comes flying in. He did that last night.
Well, he didn't do it enough, because that's where NC State really took advantage. Al Freeman was getting to the rim all night against Arizona.
Smith pulls it. This is Amelagu, and he beats his man to the rim. Timeout. Arizona leads by 1. Sean Miller wants to talk. Paul, this is an 8-0 run for SMU. He's going to the tin.
He's doing it from deep. He's doing it at the rim. 6'5", power guard.
Nice. How many? How many points did he have?
Pickford, he was sensational today. What was? I know. And he came into the game and double-double. Woo. What's that?
25 for Brunson, 18 for Pickford. This is Feast Week on ESPN. Earlier today in the Bahamas, Villanova and Tennessee physical battle, Paul.
Well, Tennessee came out strong against Purdue with the upset. They were strong against Villanova, couldn't hold on.
Jalen Brunson scores 25. The Wildcats are into the championship. Northern Iowa giving NC State everything it had, and Taiwan Pickford scored 18 points. A late run, Northern Iowa wins by 4. So there's your matchup. Villanova, Northern Iowa, Jay Wright and Ben Jacobson, two really great coaches in the respective conferences. That's at noon Eastern on ESPN2. So Carl Ravitch and Dick Vitale have that game for you to crown a Bad Boy Mowers Battle for Atlantis champion.
Mikal Bridges was sensational for Villanova. He's played tremendous here in the Battle for Atlantis. He could be the X factor in that game. I don't know if UNI has anybody who can really cover him at 6'6", 6'7", with the versatility.
Yeah, if you have not seen Mikal Bridges play yet, carve out some time at noon Eastern.
I would put Pickford on him with that size and strength. It's going to be a great matchup of guards, three-point shooting. Bennett Cook inside, first team Missouri Valley Conference preseason. You got Amari Spellman.
SMU is on an 8-0 run. DeAndre Ayton winds up on Ben Ameligu, and there's the long reach affecting the shot.
Yeah, tough matchup for Ayton against a smaller guard, if you will. He did a good job moving his feet.
Trier into the lane, fouled by Douglas.
DeAndre Ayton is 7'1". He's going to have to cover somebody who's 6'7", 6'8", away from the basket, move his feet, and he needs the help from his teammates.
So you've said it. It could be DeAndre Ayton, it could be Michael Porter Jr., could be Marvin Bagley III. One of those three names could be called #1 overall next June. When did Ayton burst onto the scene growing up here in the Bahamas?
Well, I didn't see him until he came into the States. And once he came into the States, I believe he was 14 years old, he became quickly the #1 player in his class based on his athleticism, his performances were just dominating against kids his age at his size. Great skill. Stayed at #1 in the senior class. Then Michael Porter passed him, and then when Marvin Bagley reclassified, he passed them all.
Good look on the drive. Foster was aggressive, and it's Arizona basketball. Foster didn't like the call. Ayton said, growing up, playing the game of basketball, said I stunk, but he was a 6'8", 12-year-old, so he stuck with it.
I'm going to tell you something about DeAndre Ayton. If he can turn his motor on and keep it on during games, he can be as good as he wants to be. There's not very many players in the college game, and even the pros, that have his body with his skill level and mobility. But he knows that he doesn't play hard all the time. And he's playing for the perfect coach who's going to demand it every possession in Sean Miller.
And it's Sean Miller over near that Arizona bench. Landra misfires. Ayton from about 12 feet away. Faces up. Rebound down to Shake Milton. He's looking to get going, only 2 points. There's Jimmy Witt. SMU ahead by 1 with 6:05 to go in the first. A 10-0 run.
And it's the penetration game for SMU.
So they're getting into the defense.
They're getting in, they're getting deep, and they're finishing.
Ira Lee with good position, and the freshman contorts his way up. Held on to it just the right amount of time.
How about the pass by the 7-footer? People don't realize how skilled DeAndre Ayton is to pass it, to drive it, to score it. He's just got to put it all together and play hard no matter what.
Oh, collision at the rim. Ameligu is on the way up. And the foul against Ira Lee.
Well, DeAndre Ayton with the IQ to lift it over the defense. Ira Lee, strong, physical, wide shoulders. Good job sailing his man. Great pass by Ayton. You know, with this guy, it's all defense. I mean, just look at him. Look at DeAndre Ayton. Broad broad shoulders, long arms. What is it, 7'4" wingspan. Explosive first jump, quick second jump, tremendous hands. He has all the measurables, but he will relax on defense, and at times he won't run the court. He should be blocking more shots and rebounding more balls, especially on the defensive end.
He only has 5 blocks in 5 games. But he went for 27 his last time out against NC State. He is whistled for the moving screen. SMU ball tied up.
No, that was a great call by the official. Watch Ayton. Sets the screen, and he just wipes out the defender, does not allow him to go under the screen. That is a moving screen.
Going up to Milton, finds the basket. The preseason player of the year in the American Conference stays here.
Watch this cut. Off of 2 high screens. Defense chases. Lee does not communicate on that back screen. He doesn't call it. He doesn't help out. And the pass from Jimmy Witt. But that's a freshman, Ira Lee, in the back. DeAndre Ayton, freshman. We're talking about freshmen. It's a fantastic class, but nevertheless, their biggest learning curve is on the defensive end. Thank goodness it's only November.
Oh, the expectation couldn't be higher. So number 2 sitting next to Arizona's name. Trier in rhythm. Lee with the board.
And that's what he does best, Ira Lee. He gets you second possessions.
Jackson Cartwright whistled on the way up.
You know, whether you're Matt Painter or Sean Miller, 2 outstanding, successful head coaches, you're still putting your team together in November. You have that bullseye on your back. You're ranked. You have top recruiting classes. These guys understand it's a process as a head coach. Your team gets better over time. You have the preseason, you have the conference season, and then the postseason. A lot of time to improve and get better. And both of those teams went on summer trips, so they got 10 days of practice.
Arizona in Spain, SMU going to Canada. You bring up a good point. This is November basketball, and the first big upset is going to get talked a lot about because it's the first one. Arizona falling to NC State yesterday. Trier lost it momentarily. Second chance, fighting for his basket.
Well, Trier's a hungry offensive player in the high school circuit, in the summer circuit. One of the leading scorers in the Nike EYBL, which is one of the best summer leagues in the country.
He's from Seattle, now a junior.
He can get buckets all game long. Just got to become a better shooter.
Just like this guy. Ribs out, that was halfway down. Tied at 25 with 3:30 left in the first.
There's 3 freshmen on the court right now for Sean Miller.
Here's one of them. Jackson Cartwright back out to Trier from about 3 feet behind the stripe. Stays here. Tie game. Arizona and SMU late in the first.
Alonzo Trier definitely knows where the rim is. Doesn't get it the first time, he'll get it the second. Arizona in a dogfight. I think they're trying to get it into the paint. They came out early into the game trying to get it in, but the defense is kind of taking that paint game away. Anytime they throw it into Ayton and double teaming, I think I think you got to utilize Ayton facing the basket, and once that loosens it up, Ayton's got to start high and then go low. If he just goes and plants himself in the paint, the defense is just going to load up against him.
Start high, go low.
Start high and go low. You know, it's like Al Pacino says, "You go high, I go low." When he was negotiating in Goodfellas, you don't remember that? I know the game.
That's good. Hey, do you have any sort of highlight you're coming out with on that note? Just gorgeous anywhere you take a walk around the Atlantis Resort. Bad Boy Mowers battle for Atlantis. Our final game this Thursday, Thanksgiving evening. So thank you for finishing up your Thanksgiving holiday with us. Tie game. The second-ranked Arizona Wildcats got a little push in the latter half here in the first. Well, Paul, DeAndre Ayton is so skilled. When you look at what Arizona has done today, they're struggling to shoot from the outside, and it's got to be just get it right back to Ayton, right? But the question is, where do you want him to get?
Well, it's easier said than done to throw the ball into the post, especially when the defense is converging when he touches the basketball. I love Sean Miller's schemes of putting Ayton 12, 15 feet away, facing the basket. He's got a beautiful touch. I think you got to take Ayton outside, setting ball screens and dribble handoffs, and then bring him inside. He's got to work harder for the basketball. There's no question about it. He doesn't post up hard. And his teammates have to make some outside shots to stretch out the defense. You see Sean Miller goes right into him on the timeout.
And right there on the pass, they double. Trier the three.
But that's what has to happen when you double team DeAndre Ayton. He throws it out, ball gets skipped. Somebody's got to knock down the open shot. Alonzo Trier needs to make that shot all season long for Arizona to be great. And Parker Jackson Cartwright, we know he can shoot it. Alex Barcelo can shoot it better than he has been. So there's a couple of shooters on this team.
Foster with the reverse. But he has asserted himself these two nights in the Bahamas. Junior from Houston now guarding Ayton. He rolls back to the basket.
Yeah, he's got one in front. He's got another one waiting for him. Look at that.
Offensive foul. It was Milton that slid in.
That's experience on the weak side. The defense is fronting or siding. Ayton catches it. There's another defender waiting for him. He's got to pull up even sooner. In fact, he should pass that basketball. There'll be an advantage on the weak side. He's just a freshman still learning those things. He's so eager to help his team, and he's so excited that he beat the first defender. But in college basketball, there's somebody always waiting for you. In high school basketball, that person who's waiting is not stepping in for charges. In AAU basketball, there's not a lot of defense. So what you do in high school, you can't always do in college. That's where you have to learn good habits at the grassroots game.
Knocked out, and it stays here with 6 seconds on the shot clock. Sometimes, how long does it take for that patience to set in for someone who's so eager to get it going?
A lot of film. I mean, Sean Miller and his staff are going to show Ayton the film of his mistakes and his good plays. When it sinks in, I don't know. Usually there's a big growth spurt. I'll tell you this right now for freshmen, between the first and second semester. You know why? No school, all basketball. They can get in the gym, they can watch film. Sometime in January, the lights should go on for all these freshmen.
Whistle on the interior. Here's Austin Carroll, who's film coordinator for the Wildcats. Now with Emmanuel Book Richardson being named in the FBI investigation, someone like Carroll has been given on-court responsibilities to coach this Wildcat squad. You can only have 3 assistant coaches on a floor in a practice to help out, so Carroll has been involved a bit more.
And Austin Carroll from New England, excellent college player, a smart, tough, skilled college player. His dad John Carroll was an assistant coach for the Celtics for a long time as the advanced scout, then became the head coach for the Celtics for 1 year. Austin Carroll has a great opportunity to not only learn from his dad, but from Sean Miller. He's going to be a terrific coach.
Take a look at the score, by the way. Considering the start Arizona got off to, SMU's in not a bad spot right now.
Not at all. And it's been their patience and their poise with their drive game. Look, they're not going to change who they are, SMU. They're going to take the outside shot and beat you with that. They make 10.5 threes a game, and then as soon as you come out, here comes that drive game by that 6'6", 6'7" versatile athlete. It's small ball at its best, and Tim Jankovic decided, you know what? I'm going to ditch the traditional way of playing. It's a lot of fun. You get isolations, you get mismatches, and the guys love it. But you have to believe it, and you have to be good on the glass if you're going to do it.
There is a little more flow to the SMU offense.
No question about it.
That one chucked down to Ristic.
You just have to be good on the weak side help, like Shake Milton was against Ayton that last possession.
Offensive board to Everett Ray. Backdoor cut. Foster, it rolled off his fingers. And he is hobbling on the way back down. Trier, head fake and drive. Blocked by Foster. He gets back, limping the entire way. And it's another whistle. It goes against SMU. 2 plays at the rim. Offensive foul on Shake Milton.
2 golden opportunities for SMU. First, Foster with the missed layup. Then Shake Milton with the offensive foul. I didn't see it from this vantage point.
And Milton's frustration, clearly you could see it on his face. And perhaps with good reason.
Shake Milton, the open floor. Ball's in his right hand. Let's see his left hand. He just crossed over the defender.
Are they saying when he put his left hand on Jackson Cartwright's shoulder, maybe that split second? That would be the only indication.
He took that ball and took a big step. Tried to get some momentum to the basket. Watch this. He tries to get momentum. It's almost like a Euro step. He goes inside, over.
I think it's when he put his hands on Jackson Cartwright's shoulder. There wasn't much there.
That was a natural play to the basket.
Trier has the last 7 points for Arizona. Wildcats shooting about 48% from the field. Dangerous skip pass, they work it into Foster. Some second chances for SMU, can't convert.
The size of Ristic. It's hard to see the rim.
There's the 7-footer from Serbia. Played in now more than 100 games for Sean Miller.
And SMU's going to get the ball back.
At a 7 or 8 second differential. Tied at 30 late in the first. Smith hesitation. Second look. Ira Lee. He's at the line with 7.8. The shot clock is off. Now down in Orlando, it's the Advocare Invitational. St. John's and Missouri have advanced. The only game that's ongoing currently, West Virginia and Marist. That's 24th ranked Mountaineers. How about 46 college basketball games on the ESPN networks today? We started at 11:30 in the morning. We're going to go to about 3 a.m. We got games on the West Coast.
And let's do it again tomorrow.
Yeah. You know all about that.
It's so much. I mean, just us and shoot around today. I mean, we have not seen the beach. We have not seen the nightlife, but we have seen the gym, and we've seen every team here practice and play. It's been a sensational tournament, the battle for Atlantis.
2 seconds, no. 1-point game at the half. Arizona and SMU attempting to bounce back from losses yesterday. Neither team was happy about them. And in the first half, not a single Arizona player in double figures. Alonzo Trier, though, with 9. Halftime inside the Imperial Arena.
Hey.
What, 7-8 minute mark again?
I think Alonzo Trier is what we should do.
All right, thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Back in the Bahamas, the second half about to begin in just a bit. Let's take a look.
Thank you.
Back in the Bahamas, the second half about to begin in just a bit. Let's take a look back at the semifinal matchups. Carl Ravitch and Robbie Hummel recap those when we return.
Paradise Island, and Paradise Island, and in the background you can see on the right-hand part of that screen Atlantis, and that's where this Battle for Atlantis, the Bad Boy Mower Battle for Atlantis, is being played. And you had Purdue in this tournament, you had Arizona in this tournament, you had Villanova in this tournament, and only Villanova is going to play in the championship game. And who are they taking on? The Panthers of the University of Northern Iowa.
Yeah, and I mean, they got it done today. They just hung around and stayed with it, and NC State just never really put them away. But Tywan Pickford, my goodness. 6'4" guard, goes for 18 points and 18 rebounds. Knocked out some threes, got to the rim, did a little bit of everything for this UNI team. And I really thought he kept them in the game, Carl. I mean, he was so crucial for them when they were struggling to score. He kind of just kept them around.
Yeah, and there's a great example of what he does. He cut in front of a 7-footer there, Omer Yurtseven, to grab one of his 18 rebounds. He had, again, 18 points as well. So now they have to deal with Villanova. And Villanova trailed in their game to Tennessee by 12 points at the half. And the second half was a whole different story.
Well, they certainly struggled. And Tennessee is a good team. I think we've seen them kind of come onto to make a statement almost at this tournament. But Villanova is so tough. I mean, Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, both those guys are so capable of doing so many things on the basketball court. And Jalen Brunson, I thought he showed off his mid-range game so well. I mean, he is so good at stopping on a dime and getting to that pull-up jumper or getting that little floater. You see him here finishing at the rim over John Fulkerson. But he really came to play. I mean, what an impressive performance by him today. And, you know, Villanova, we expected they could be in the championship, but Northern Iowa, we'll see what they can do tomorrow.
That's noon Eastern time on ESPN2 Championship Friday. With Robbie Hummel, I'm Carl Ravitch. Dick Vitale will join us for the championship as we look forward to seeing Villanova, which has not lost a November tournament since 2013 when they won it here, has a chance to win another.
Got it. That's how you keep a crowd in the arena at halftime. Excellent work before the second half gets going. Alonzo Trier, the junior, NBA talent, said, "I'm coming back for my junior season." 27 a night ago, 9 tonight. First half highlights, start of the second when we come back.
Of their mission.
It's the Bad Boy Mowers battle for Atlantis. We're inside the Imperial Arena. Number 2, Arizona with a 1-point advantage. Getting a test from SMU, being pushed for a second consecutive night. He's Paul Biancardi. I'm Kevin Fitzgerald, so thanks for joining us. Thanksgiving Eve at this point, so Ben Amelagu is burst onto the scene today. It's not Shake Milton, it's Amelagu. It's giving Arizona some problems inside and out.
And the 6'5" power guard is doing it with the three-point shot. We know he's a driver, but 80% of his shots are from three, and he's knocking them down in this game tonight. Arizona really doesn't have an answer for this guy. He's a mismatch problem. If you put a big guy on him, he's going to stretch you out. Put a guy with like size, he'll drive you to the basket. Make no mistake about it, Melagu loves the three-point shot. You cannot give him that kind of time and space.
He is 54% from beyond the arc coming into this one. Amelagu with the 14. No Arizona shooter into double figures just yet. Alonzo Trier, he has 9. DeAndre Ayton, that's the 2 who we've been spotlighting for most of this one, with 5. And look, we've talked about it. This is November basketball still. It's just the second week for Arizona and all these teams competing, but Ayton, Trier, what are their roles right now along with the rest of this really young freshman crew?
Well, I think if you're Sean Miller, you're still trying to help your team identify their roles when it comes to offense. I don't think they're very comfortable offensively in terms of their roles, but they're talented to score a lot of points. They scored 85 points last night against NC State, but for me, they're not connected enough, even early in this season defensively. I know they're young, but you have to incorporate your freshmen into the defense, and some of the baskets that SMU are getting off the drive, That's just keeping your man in front out of the lane. It's not real tricky.
Got to box out, too. We haven't seen that. How about 12 offensive rebounds for SMU?
So we're talking about keeping your man in front, and when the shot goes up, block out. Those are the basics of the basics in half-court man-to-man offense. Arizona just not focused enough right now defensively. They weren't last night. Let's see what happens in the next 20 minutes.
Arizona clearly shooting better from the field, but SMU is taking 40 shots because of all the second chances. Ristich, the shimmy. That's the senior. He has a half a dozen, and his team is ahead by 3.
I mean, that's just sensational coaching by Sean Miller. You go to your big guy, you isolate him in the middle, you feed him, and he delivers. Now you got to go back to that.
Shagwa for 3. He will take that triple. That's the 6'9" forward. SMU was uncomfortable offensively last night. Tied with Arizona until now. The slam for Ayton.
How about the pass by Jackson Cartwright? Just lobs it right over the defense, where the only person who can catch it is Ayton.
How about another? Shagwa, back-to-back threes.
Well, the scouting report says SMU can shoot threes. You got to identify the shooters and get out on them, close out quickly. It's a pack line defense for Arizona, which means they're in an early help situation, but that should not take away from the pressure you put on the basketball. Again, Jaguar just kind of slips away from Ristich, not alert, not aware. He thinks it's a ball screen. Jaguar just quick slips to an open spot.
You're asking
and
where
Ristich doesn't react quick enough.
And Paul, if you're asking where was he, remember the 2 quick fouls in the first half, so Shagwa barely played. Jimmy went into the lane, and Parker Jackson Cartwright with nice timing. He just glanced at his head coach. Sean Miller calls it out, the defensive look. SMU to inbound. Shagwa with the spin. Maybe they didn't need to. And here comes Arizona.
I'll tell you what, that was just a quick slip ball screen. Arizona was lucky SMU didn't score.
You saw Ira Lee just fall down. We have seen plenty of players slipping on this court the last couple days. Trier, nice stroke.
That was clean in terms of his stroke. It wasn't forced. It came within the flow of that ball screen. He recognized he was open and didn't hesitate.
So why are NBA scouts eyeing up Trier this season?
Because he can score from the outside, off the dribble, which is hard to do. He can catch and shoot. He's terrific from the pull-up, and he gets to the rim.
It's like Shagwa here. All of a sudden, Ethan Shagwa, the freshman who has looked very comfortable to start the year.
Great pass.
Yep, that's to Ayton. Swatted away. Shagwa and Foster were in there, and it's going back to SMU. Last touched by Ayton.
I tell you what else scouts love about Alonzo Trier, his ability to create fouls. He lives at the free throw line in the college game. Now he's going to have to polish up all his skills. He's at about, what, 6'4"? That's not great size for a 2-guard, but that's where he has to play.
Way short. And Shagwa goes right down the lane. And he's got a chance for the traditional three-point play. Welcome back, Ethan Shagwa.
He was sleeping and he woke up. And Shagwa with the 3. Then the quick slip in the drive. I mean, part of his offense, though, is the lack of awareness by Arizona. That shot missed. No Arizona player on the defensive glass. He drives to the basket. There's nobody stepping in. it is not a connected team right now defensively.
We just spotlighted the offensive rebounding, 2 quick ones in the second half.
And when you watch a Sean Miller team over the years, they always guard you and they rebound. This team will do that in time. Just needs a lot more practice.
Ira Lee was open. Instead, it's on the other side of the floor. Jackson Cartwright to Smith, who was trying to leave it for Lee, and Lee just fell again at the same spot. He's got to hustle back.
And he hustled back, too.
Shagwa, it was down and out. Keanu Pinder, and he kicks it out.
Dylan Smith has not been on with that three-point shot. He's got to look to move the ball or drive it and maybe settle into more of a wide-open three as opposed to a shot that just comes kind of quickly in the offense.
Foster to Amelagu, maybe another, jams it down.
And he's flexing. Look at him flex back on defense.
Largest lead of the game for SMU, up by 7. Timeout, Arizona.
SMU lighting it up from the outside. And it's Ben Amelagu making threes and flexing after.
Ben Amelagu. Oh. I mean, just to let the record show, I've been kidding all day. I didn't maybe actually get it.
Shagwa.
Go ahead, give it a shot. What do you got, Ben?
Amelagu. Amelagu. No, yeah, right. That's what you need right now.
Yeah, I'll take one. It's SMU with a 7-point advantage over Arizona still early in the second half. The freshman from Tulsa. Welcome to the Atlantis, Ethan Shagwa.
Stepping out, making threes. Then he misses this one. Oh, I'm sorry, he made that one. Scores on the drive. Second chance point right here. This team likes to flex after they score. And you know what? They should. They are putting the ball in the basket. They are the more aggressive team offensively. And they're playing with, again, more urgency than Arizona.
2 fouls on Shagwa in the first 2 minutes. And then it was check the watch. It's going to be a while until he gets back into the game. Starts the second half and shot out of a cannon with 11 points. And this is the largest lead for SMU, in fact, for either team.
Arizona really struggling now offensively. 8 assists, 11 turns.
Trier is trying to create, and Amelagu jarred it out. It's a whistle. Stepping aside for a timeout. Come back after this.
see all the players for SMU there, and he takes one dribble, right? But let it go, right? Okay, he's got 2 on him now. He sees 2. Right, stop. Sees 2, 3. Tell us straight it works. Right? Is that what you're saying? Yep, yep. He's got all these defenders. And let it go. He's driving into traffic. Look at all the defenders in the paint. The kick-out's open. SMU defense. I mean, they were one of the best defensive teams in the country last year. Field goal percentage defense and points allowed.
You don't need. I mean, do you want me to even toss to you? You should just take it right out of the game. You guys, Joe, do you want to do that?
Yeah, I can. Sure. Now this is off right now. The screen's black. Okay. Well, SMU, one of the best defensive teams in the nation last year. Watch the defense on Alonzo Trier. Freeze it right there. He sees 2 SMU defenders right now. Let it run. He brings it back the other way. Off the ball screen, the hedge, freeze it. 3 defenders. He has to kick it out and get rid of it. What does he do? He drives it into traffic. Freeze it right there. 4 SMU defenders in the paint. Alonzo Trier has to make that pass. They have 8 assists, 11 turnovers. The ball sticks in his hands sometimes too much. Ball movement, player movement. He'll get it back and he'll get an open shot.
Yeah, that's not conference ranks. That is NCAA ranks a year ago for this SMU defense.
Look at that, points allowed, only 60 points allowed. And field goal percentage defense, 7th in the nation.
Arizona only has 37 right now.
And I'm really impressed with how they're defending Trier. They understand he's a high-level scorer. He's a guy who can go off for 30 points. He is seeing 2 and 3 defenders every time he has the basketball, and he's not moving it so the defense can load up against him.
This has been a tough 2 days for Alonzo Trier.
Well, he scored 27 last night, but he didn't make a 3.
He has seen.
Now he's going to see defensive coverages where there's, you know, 2 guys on him, bigger length, taller guys. He's got to adjust. And I really believe if he gives it up, he'll get it back.
With 4 to shoot. Witt has to let it fly. They are falling tonight for SMU.
How about the extension on that shot? Jimmy Witt got way up, high release, high extension over the defense. See, 3 dribbles and he picks it up, Trier. The best way to score is to move the defense. You move the defense by cutting, screening, and passing the ball. That's how you score.
Goes in on 3 white jerseys that time. Stays with Arizona.
On offense, it's all about spacing, and it's all about moving the defense.
Well, DeAndre Ayton hasn't had too many touches the last few minutes.
He loves that elbow. That's a sweet spot.
And they whistle him for an offensive foul. Jeray Foster, he is one of the SMU defenders giving him some fits today.
The lane is semi-open. I don't know about that. I mean, the defense was sliding and in legal guarding position. But I think there was a little acting involved to fall down.
That's the 3rd on 8. That's the 2nd borderline, if you want to call it, offensive foul whistled against Arizona.
Now for Ayton, a teaching point, he's got to get lower on that drive. He's driving that ball upright. Low man wins in the game. He's got to get his shoulders lower on that drive.
Out to Ameliku. He has hit almost every 3 he's taken today. And now with 5.
That man is hotter than a day in the Bahamas.
Wow. Trier bombs away. Second look for Ayton, and he gets it into the point guard's hands. Parker Jackson Cartwright. And he hits. Timeout. It is back to a 9-point game. Arizona uses its second.
Well, for SMU, it's been the 3-ball all game. Meligu just feeling it tonight, and give his teammates credit. They're finding him. They drive to suck in the defense. And Trier goes to help. Don't leave him open. Scouting report defense, you know what? Just stay on that drive and make SMU finish at the rim. The Mustangs 8 for 16 tonight from 3.
And you see 4 in the second half.
I mean, if you look at the defense, and Sean Miller will show his team this, Trier really didn't help, and he certainly didn't get out to the shooter in time. So he was in no man's land, and you got to make a decision to be, if you're really going to help, then get in there and help, or stay out and shooter. But he's playing gap defense the way Sean Miller wants it. He just didn't close out quick enough.
Foul on the way up. It was Shake Milton. And a foul goes against Arizona. And this is an interesting contrast, too. We're talking a lot about Trier. Shake Milton has not had to take a lot of shots tonight. Now his teammates, and one in particular, Ben Meligu, has helped fill in the gaps. But on the other side, and that shot clock is winding down, and Trier is taking it and going.
Well, the versatility of SMU, you got Milton, Foster, Meligu, you got Witt, you got 4 guys who really can score double figures. So who do you game plan against? Well, you game plan against the hot hand. Now, he is the hot hand tonight, Meligu, 21. I would not leave him. I understand you're playing your gap defense principles, but that's the one guy right now who's kind of hurting you.
Oh, and Ayton has 2 free throws after the whistle.
Meligu has 20 points in 25 minutes.
But he was just whistled for his 4th foul. Tim Jankovic. He just had to get pushed back to the coach's box.
The extended coach's box, by the way.
Up to 38 feet. Now, I think he is asking our officials to go to the monitor and check who that foul is on. He doesn't believe it was a Meligu.
Well, if the officials absolutely know who it was on, they're not going to go to the monitor. If there's indecision, they'll go.
Shagwa getting ready to check.
Post feed to Ayton. He splits the double. I didn't see a foul on anybody.
Yeah, it didn't look like it was Foster. I'll say that.
I have no foul on that. He split the defense, and really I didn't see anybody make contact. Unless they called Foster for just kind of bumping him underneath.
Well, that sends 20 points to the bench with 13 minutes left.
Arizona has to dig in right now. They need some stops in the worst way.
Meligu, he started at Virginia Tech, transfers to SMU. And his team has a 9-point advantage over Arizona. The whistle a moment ago on Emmanuel Akon. Shot clock reset to 20 seconds on the inbound.
A great help by Trier.
Jaguars got to get rid of it. Man is open. William Douglas. Extra pass. Shake Milton. Douglas whistled.
Well, hopefully that's a lesson for DeAndre. Don't bring the ball down below your chest level. The lower you bring that ball, the more of an opportunity for the guards to strip it. Good offensive possession by SMU. Great ball movement, shot fakes, extra pass, one more pass, good look.
You've been saying that all night.
It's been a beautiful offense to watch. They really spread the floor with 5 guys basically outside the three-point line. The paint is open to drive.
What a difference 24 hours makes. SMU is searching for that rhythm you're seeing tonight, yesterday against Northern Iowa. Another turnover.
I'll tell you what, Ayton was open a second before he threw it. You only got a moment of opportunity to get it inside. He was wide open.
13th turnover. Foul on Arizona. Maybe Keanu Pinder again. And that would be the 6th team foul on the Wildcats.
Next foul by Arizona, SMU shooting.
And there's 12:05 left.
I'd drive it right now and try to pick up a foul so I can be shooting the rest of the half.
There goes Witt. Offensive foul, though. And look who it is. Pinder comes in.
Great job by Pinder. Here comes the drive by SMU. Pinder steps in, sacrifices his body for the good of the team. That may spark the Wildcats.
Those two teams would, I don't want to use the term dogged, but like, you're not leaving anything. No, I know it's dogged, but you're not going to leave anything on the floor when you got 2 and 18 going on it.
That's yours.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm telling you, the Arizona is just...
Ben Imelagu. Let's go on a fast break. Ben Imelagu. Let's go on a fast break. Favorite hobby?
Playing video games.
What color crayon would you be?
Red.
Favorite place to play other than your gym?
South Grand Prairie High School.
Who's the biggest chokester on your team?
Me.
Nice. Thank you, Ben.
Ben Imelagu with 20 points for SMU. Now he does have 4 fouls, so he is on the bench. 2 points shy of his career high. Shooting the ball efficiently. 5 triples, Paul, tonight.
The senior is feeling it. His teammates are finding him. I love this possession, the drive and the kick. That's where we talked about Trier maybe not getting there soon enough. Maybe not, should have not even left him, but Imelagu, the release is so quick. In his mind, he's ready to shoot the basketball, and that's half of being a good shooter. The other half is confidence.
Trier has plenty of that.
He has big-time confidence, and if you're SMU, that's the one guy you don't want to see get hot, because he'll beat you from the 3, the pull-up, he'll create fouls, and he is terrific in transition.
Ayton doesn't even give Foster any time to breathe. And Barcelo picked up his dribble in transition.
That's the 14th turnover for Arizona.
That's the freshman from Chandler, Arizona. He brought this up a couple times. Identity. especially on the offensive side for Arizona. Well, we've been doing this. This is 2 weeks into the season. Things are still coming to form.
Still trying to get their offensive rhythm, their offensive flow. Barcelo is just overzealous and excited. But I'll tell you what, you can live with that mistake because it was not a lack of effort.
It's hard to find a more passionate fan base around the country. We've got some, it's either sweat, some sort of liquid on the court on the other side. That's wiped up, so here we go. Shagwa, catch and shoot. Ayton grabs the board. That is his 7th tonight. Foster reached in. Only the first on the 6'6" junior, who has had the toughest task of guarding DeAndre Ayton at times tonight. Tim Jankovic's team leads by 6.
If you're Arizona, you're looking for Trier.
Another turnover, commit by Barcelo. That is the 15th Arizona turnover. Great 2017 class, we pointed it out. Plenty of freshmen. Everyone off of Sean Miller's bench besides Keanu Pinder, somebody that's new this year.
And when you're new and you're put in pressure situations, you don't have a lot of time to learn on the fly.
Milton shot off the mark. Ayton rips it down. And another rebound. Back to back. He has 8.
You know, that one possession you turn it over could cost your team.
Now before the shot, Trier, he gets Foster's shoulder. Part of the foul is on Jimmy Witt. So still just 1 for Foster. There's the movement to the other side to Jackson Cartwright. Boy, 8 heads, good position, and they feed it down. Keeps the ball high and scores.
That was the best offensive possession, I'll have to say, for Arizona this year. I haven't seen all their other games, but the ball movement, the dribble penetration, the skip, it was outstanding.
Wildcats within 4. Jackson Cartwright nearly forced the turnover. Stays here.
Watch this offensive possession. It already got swung. There it goes to the corner. The lob. Ayton begging for it. Knows what to do with it at the rim. But prior to that, there was a couple of ball reversals. There was a dribble penetration. The ball moved so fast the defense couldn't catch up. That's the result.
Timeout taken by SMU on that scrum. 7-0 run for Arizona to get back within 4.
You got Ayton with 11, Trier with 15. I think that's going to be consistent for Arizona all year. Both of those guys in double figures. Who's going to be the third scorer? I think it can be
a great question.
I think it could be Parker Jackson Cartwright without question, because his ability to shoot the ball and facilitate, but he's smart enough to know when to look for his shot. He could be that third scorer for this team, and they need that.
He's the senior from Los Angeles.
Really
his shooting
steady,
ability
yeah.
goes unnoticed. Ethan Shagwa into double figures. Hit a couple threes right at the start of the second half. Shake Milton still free. Pinballs to Pinder. 4-on-1. Trier takes it himself.
Emmanuel Acott played great defense one-on-one that last possession. Check him out on Shake Milton right now. He's 6'7". He's long, he's athletic, 24 in the red. He's playing some defense.
Trier nearly flicked it off of William Douglas's lower half. So Arizona shooting 70% from the field in the second half within 2. Wildcats led by 1 when it was 37-36 and trailed since. Pinder the rebound.
That's Arizona defense.
Ayton running. Foul. Shagwa whistled immediately. And Ayton reaching at the left hand.
And when I say that's Arizona defense, the intensity was outstanding. They didn't allow the ball into the paint. They cleaned the defensive glass, and what happens? Parker Jackson Cartwright pushes it ahead. And let me tell you something, DeAndre Ayton, he can really run the floor. He can beat guards down the floor. This guy can fly with long strides and speed. But first, as a unit, they have to get together and stay connected defensively. When they do that, that's why people are talking about Arizona as a possible Final Four team, a team that can win the Pac-12. It's a long way away, but when this team does come together, it's going to be hard to stop.
Sean Miller in Arizona reached the Elite Eight in back-to-back seasons, 2014, 2015. That's not enough. They want to go Final Four this year and championship. 1-point game, Paul.
The fans always want more. If you go to an Elite Eight, they want a Final Four. When you go to a Final Four, they want you to win a national championship. When you win that, they want you to win another one. Sean Miller has taken this program to tremendous heights. And he's been so consistent. And let me tell you this, his brother Archie is going to do an awesome job at Indiana.
First season in Bloomington. It's an 11-0 DeAndre Ayton and Alonzo Trier run. Rebound Ayton. Trier sidesteps his man, making a 13-0 run. Timeout on the floor, whistled by our official. There's some liquid on the opposite end. Little break in the action.
Arizona has not got many fast break points tonight, but they've got about 4 or 6 in the last couple of minutes. And it stems from the defense. Once they stop, they push, they run, and they finish as well as anyone in the country. This team wants to get up and go. There's only one disclaimer. You have to play defense first. And Ayton has been a man on the glass. Last 3 defensive rebounds, he's gotten them all.
Acott. Pinder had it. It's out of bounds. And SMU basketball. Mustangs have missed 9 straight shots.
And now DeAndre Ayton has a double-double, 13 points, 11 rebounds. I'll tell you what, when he's on the court, I think he should be the leading rebounder every single night. You see how quick he is to the rim? How tall, how athletic. It's a motor, it's an effort, it's habit, and it's starting to come.
So 5 games, 5 double-doubles for DeAndre Ayton.
And he's really not playing at his best in terms of effort.
Oh, watch out.
He could be a monster, let me tell you. There's not many in the game that have the skill with his body.
Sagwa was underneath. Pinder behind him. And he's whistled for the foul. Arizona has come all the way back. 2-point advantage with 7:58 left. Yeah, they've say it again. No, 15. Last 15. 14.
Games have been absolutely incredible.
Superb. I mean, like, Arizona's got a great fan base, so this helps. $14 in a row and a 15-2.
They only have 4 fast break points the whole game.
Yeah, Trier, 18, 14.
They came in the last 2 minutes.
13, got it. Last 13, Trier, 18. And it is 15-2. Got it. The Bad Boy Mowers battle for Atlantis, our final game today. Arizona on a 15-2 run. Who do you think is getting it done, Paul?
Well, the big fella inside, and his teammates are looking for him. DeAndre Ayton, he's begging for the ball. Great lob over the defense. When he wants the basketball, give it to him. But the run has come from the defense. And defense starts with ball pressure and keeping the ball out of the lane. Arizona has done that. Emmanuel Acott, I thought, did a fabulous job on Shake Milton. The defense behind him helped out. DeAndre Ayton has cleaned the offensive glass. It allows Arizona to run, score fast break points, gain some confidence. One thing about momentum, you know it's happening, but you don't know how to stop it if you're the other team. It's something you say to yourself, okay, this is changing, but how do we stop it? It's really hard.
Well, what answer is swirling through Tim Jankovich's mind right now, do you think?
Well, I think he wants to calm his team down and try to match the intensity now that Arizona, they've stepped it up a notch. So if you're SMU, you got to respond to that intensity, and that's what college basketball is all about. Game of runs, game of intensity. You got to swing back. Amelagu goes on the bench. That really hurt them with the three-point shooting as well.
He has 4 fouls and 20 points. He left the game a few minutes ago.
When he left the game, SMU was up. Now they're down. And Tim Jankovich is probably going to put him back into the game at the 4-minute mark.
That is an errant pass. Arizona ball. Well, still ongoing, the Phil Knight Invitational. 2-18 brackets. Florida and Stanford currently on ESPN2. We've got a game coming up at midnight. Texas. You called it.
And Duke, 2 of the best freshmen in the country. Marvin Bagley III, the #1 player out of high school. Mo Bamba, #4. That's a can't-miss game.
For Duke, I would say, which freshman? Which one are you talking about?
They had the #1 class. They had 5 guys inside the top 20, but Bomber against Bagley.
Ayton has taken that shot a few times over the first 4 games. He will stretch it out to be on the arc.
As long as his shots come within rhythm and room, they're good shots for DeAndre Ayton. It's when he forces it, he gets himself in trouble, just like all players.
Shake Milton fouled.
One of the biggest adjustments from high school to college on offense is to know when you're open. In high school, you always think you're open. In college, you're only open for a second. And if you don't take advantage of that opportunity, you end up forcing shots, and that's when your percentage goes down. And this guy's been the Energizer Bunny. Unsung hero in my mind, 24 in the red, Emmanuel Aycott. Defensively.
That's the freshman from Manitoba. Six ties and 11 lead changes. SMU is up by, at one point, 11. Trimmed to 1. Going to Aiden. He tips it to himself. Pinder can't follow. And a whistle. It's a foul, and it's on SMU. Pinder picked up a second offensive rebound, and on the way down, bumped.
Parker Jackson Cartwright just kind of throwing a little bit higher so DeAndre Ayton doesn't have to gather himself. Fight for the ball. Pinder's been outstanding, just working the glass. See, when you're throwing it to Ayton, you can throw it as high as you want because either he'll get it or it'll go out of bounds. And I'll tell you what, he can catch bad passes outside of his area. Don't be afraid when you throw it up to DeAndre Ayton.
The one thing that does translate from high school to college is 7'1".
With great hands.
Yep.
And I mean great hands.
.21 in the white. You saw Benamelegu check back in. DeAndre Ayton's squad down 1. Offensive board. He comes flying in.
That's the talent of DeAndre Ayton. Quick to the rim. Explosive. While everybody else was watching the ball off the rim, he was finishing.
Double-double. 5th straight game. Foster for 3. And SMU starting to go cold from beyond the arc.
And DeAndre Ayton starting to control the glass, which he should.
Shot blocked away. In transition, Milton's basket counts. Shake Milton.
Watch this offensive rebound by DeAndre Ayton. Gets in between 3 defenders, 2 hands with the slam. Welcome home, DeAndre Ayton. Shake Milton in transition. Loves that big step. Just glides to the basket. Soft finger roll. High-level plays.
It's Foster guarding Ayton.
He's given up at least 6 inches on that.
5:25 to go. Aycott trying to add the offense. And Milton the rebound. So Melegu back on the floor for SMU offensively.
He hasn't touched the ball in a while, but he was the hot hand early.
Not since the 13:05 mark. They're looking for him. Foul on Jackson Cartwright. 1-1 for Ben Melegu.
Tell you what, I thought Jackson Cartwright moved his feet pretty well. That was the slightest of incidental contact. That's a play on.
Sean Miller was wondering the same thing.
Yeah, there's nothing there. You just play. There's no advantage at all by Jackson Cartwright on that.
And he missed it. Punched out. Foster keeps it alive. Milton going to work on Ayton.
Ayton did a great job of shutting him down. This Arizona defense is inspired right now.
Milton shot off the mark. Foster gets it inside the Landrum. 3-point lead for the Mustangs. 4:35 to go.
Well, their defense has been inspired, but their defensive rebounding has been less than inspired. They've given up 19 offensive rebounds to SMU.
Active on the glass.
And that's led to 14 second chance points.
Too many.
Those are shots you really don't guard.
Trier on the step back. Ayton caught it, and he got it in just before the horn. Our officials start to walk towards the monitor. He caught it right at the rim. And one official underneath that basket said, bucket is good.
They're going to look to see, did he release it? He catches it.
Did that leave his right hand before the clock hit 0?
Well, it's the clock and then it's the light. Let's take a look. Okay, the ball's out of his hand. It's in his hand at 1.
Oh, that is close. It's a good angle right here. You can see the shot clock just above the basket. At 0.
That's still touching his hand at 0. I'm going to wave that off from that angle.
And so do the officials. No basket.
That was a tough one. That was a hard one to see. Because you really had to look at that at different angles to see if his hand still had contact with the ball.
Officials also put 2 seconds back on the clock.
Arizona's put a lot of energy into this comeback. Still down 3, plenty of time.
Milton going up to Jimmy Witt. Five-point lead.
Arizona lost their focus on that possession. I think it was Trier's man who went to the rim.
And a turnover. Pinder gives it away. That's the 17th Arizona turnover, but Ayton, he follows with a backcourt steal. Arizona within 3.
Jackson Cartwright sticks his nose in there to force that turnover.
Another look at the rim, and this time Witt couldn't stuff it home.
Same play they ran earlier. The back cut, no help on that back screen.
Jimmy Witt just poked it free, and in transition, SMU starts to work it around.
Look at the Mustangs, 5 white shirts on the perimeter. One under the basket, Foster almost had a layup. Watch the spacing by SMU. They really, really spread you out. Try to drive you, kick you, find the mismatch.
4 to shoot. Milton gets in, leaves it for Witt. Blocked away by Ayton. Shot clock violation. Arizona ball, 2:26 left.
Jimmy Witt throwing it, finishing it upstairs. That was from Shake Milton. But DeAndre Ayton has been a man in the second half on the defensive glass, blocking shots and rebounding. This time he picks up the loose change, brings it home. Let's see it real quick here, and then I think that's pretty ferocious, don't you? I was going to say he came from inside the paint, and I can draw on that real quick. I want to show where Ayton is, and show that shot blocking range, where he starts from. I'm just going to say, watch DeAndre Ayton. This is why he's the #3 player in the country. Just let me find him, circle him, and then we can let it go. The defense for Arizona in the second half has been stifling. Check out DeAndre Ayton right here in the paint. Watch where he starts right there and watch where he finishes to block this shot. That is called shot blocking range and mobility. He's helping in one spot. He gets outside the paint to block a jump shot. That's one of the reasons he was the #3 player in the high school game, and he'll be one of the top 3 picks in the NBA draft after this season.
Oh, this is his 5th game, 5th double-double.
And he has so much to learn, and he has no idea how good he can be. He's got the footwork of Hakeem Olajuwon. I really haven't seen a big like this, so skilled, so strong, so explosive in a long, long time. It's hard to put a name, a comparison name to DeAndre Ayton.
Foul at the basket is on Jimmy Witt, his 4th.
When you look at Ayton, he's got the size of a center, he's got the mobility of a power forward, and the skills of a small forward. I mean, that's why he's such a unique package.
From Nassau, playing in front of his friends and family. He and Arizona got off the plane a couple days ago. News crews, TV cameras, they were waiting for his return back home.
He is a celebrity here in Nassau.
He and Alonzo Trier have the last 17 points for Arizona. But a whistle on the loose ball. Keanu Pinder again whistled. And we're going to have free throws on the other side for SMU. It's the 4th on Pinder. That's 10 team fouls in Arizona. 2 shots for SMU.
For Arizona, this next offensive possession, Sean Miller on the sideline looking at his play card right now. They got to keep their flow. Okay, every coach has a play card. He's gonna put it in his pocket, decided to keep it out. You look at where's the mismatch, who's the hot hand, what play's been working the best, where should we go? And you look at how the defense has been guarding your sets.
SMU defensively has been so active. Landrum flies down. Jump ball. And the possession arrow favors SMU. A rare smile on Tim Jankovic's face. There's still 2:05 left. Took over for Larry Brown a couple seasons ago, and
he's worked for some great coaches.
How about everybody getting in on this to wipe up?
It looked like a dance.
I feel like running out there now.
You should. How about Tim Jankovich worked with Eddie Sutton, Oklahoma State, was an assistant with Bill Self to Eddie Sutton, and he worked for Bill Self, played for George Raveling at Washington State, played for Jack Hartman at Kansas State, worked with Larry Brown. I mean, Tim Jankovich has a resume and a half in the college game.
He told us he's got the best page of the game notes.
Worked for Lon Kruger, too.
He said, try to find another head coach who has worked with that many masterminds on the sidelines. Shake Milton. Well, SMU has struggled from the field in the second half. They're going to shoot 2 free throws the rest of the way, up 5. And another pass given away. 20 Arizona turnovers. We may be looking back at that number at the end of this one. Landrum saves it, and Milton slows. 7 seconds on the shot clock. The drive, off the window. Free throws coming and a foul. Earlier today, number 18 Purdue went down again. Western Kentucky victorious. And number 2 is up against the ropes. Consecutive nights.
SMU just moves the basketball around. They recognized that Ayton was on Shake Milton. They gave him the space. I thought Ayton did a pretty good job moving his feet, keeping his hands up. But Shake Milton, because he's experienced, knows how to draw that contact and get to the line.
Villanova and Northern Iowa in the championship tomorrow, noon Eastern on ESPN2. You don't want to be the team to go home with 3 losses. Arizona calls timeout, down 7, 106 to play. Turnovers for Arizona today. It's not just the Wildcats' mistakes. The SMU defense has turned up the heat in the second half. They've been active. What have you seen from that defensive unit?
I thought SMU did a great job responding to the run of Arizona, but where SMU is going to win this game, if they do, it's on the offensive glass. They have 20 offensive rebounds, which has led to 14 second chance points in a close game. That's the difference in my mind.
Yep, so we got 106 left. 7-point deficit. Arizona with the basketball. And it really has been Trier and Ayton, which we expected, but it's been almost exclusively that duo scoring the basketball lately.
But it started with their defense, and you could put Manuel Akon in that formula in terms of how they made their comeback. It was the defense, then it was the offense, then it was a confidence and a rhythm that Arizona got into, and you can see how powerful they are offensively. But give SMU a lot of credit. They stood strong in the face of a run against one of the top teams in the country. Now Arizona, they just need flow. All these guys can score. It's the shot quality.
Trier hits the 3. Sean Miller says, let's press.
I'll tell you what, Alonzo Trier is better off the dribble than he is off the catch. He loves to rhythm up into that shot.
Two officials, Clarence Armstrong and Antonio Petty at the monitor. Looked like Trier was behind the line.
I thought it was clear that he was from 3.
So the shot goes through. Pretty clear with 1 minute on the clock. Right now, scoreboard reads 58.9 seconds. So the clock may have run an extra second after that shot goes through.
So when the ball goes through the basket, that's when the clock stops. The officials are trying to get that exact time. And what this does is it gives a timeout to each team right now to put a couple of plays in down the stretch without having to look back and talk to their coach. They can put some strategy in right now. And Sean Miller in Arizona, they need to stop.
Well, he called his team over immediately. He recognized this was a chance. Set something up.
Now, a lot of people say, well, you want to follow the worst free throw shooter. That is a good strategy. But with less than a minute and 2-possession game, I think if you're going to foul, well, first of all, you don't have to foul right away. I think you're going to see a trap by Arizona. I think they're going to look to try to get multiple traps, force a turnover right here, and then play it out the rest of the shot clock.
SMU has only turned it over 8 times today compared to 20 for Arizona.
And if Arizona does foul, you want to look at Jere Foster, only 58% coming into the battle for Atlantis. That may be a guy you want to foul. It's definitely not going to be Shake Milton.
Don't put the 93% free throw shooter to the line.
I tell you what, Landrum, number 20, would be a great guy to foul. Struggling from the free throw line early in the season. Less than 10% from the line.
Well, this is taking longer than we expected. Still over at the monitor, and they've got to be looking at something else here in addition to the clock. And at this point, both teams are out on the floor. They're set up. They're ready to go. SMU was up by as many as 11 in this game. Arizona came all the way back. SMU up by 7 though now.
Every time the officials go to the monitor end of games, it always takes a lot longer. Games on the line. The seconds are precious. Possession is so important.
Well, for SMU, you have Witt, Milton, Landrum, Foster, Amelagu, who has hit all those threes, but still stuck on 20 points. And then for Arizona, Pinder, Acott, Ayton, Jackson, Cartwright, and Trier. And we're just about ready to get the explanation. So the clock has been set to 56.9. They took 2 seconds away from what it was initially slotted at, 58.9.
Look for a trap by Arizona. They're going to foul. It's Foster and Landrum.
Here's Landrum.
Sean Miller saying no fouls.
Got a chance to be aggressive and go for the steal. 44 seconds.
He's going to trust his defense.
It's Trier guarding Milton. SMU ahead by 4. 2 to shoot. Back to Milton, fading away. And here comes Arizona. Trier stumbles. Ayton, he's scraping for that loose basketball. Jimmy Witt falls on it.
Tremendous hustle by Witt, Ayton. Trier just lost it. Shake Milton, a little incidental contact, and I think Trier wanted the foul, but Witt, Ayton, everybody goes down. We got the best mop-up crew in America out there right now. Towels everywhere.
Arizona fell yesterday to NC State, down 4. No timeouts for the Wildcats. Trier lets it fly, strong. Ball is still free. And Amelagu on top of it. Timeout taken by SMU. 8 seconds left. Mustangs ahead.
Trier made the 3 in the last possession. He basically worked off a high ball screen and took the same shot. I thought this one was a little bit closer guarded. Not sure that was the best shot to take based on time and score. Maybe something more to the rim for Trier. He's terrific at creating fouls. Yes, he can make deep outside shots, but game on the line, you got to score 2 possessions, you're down.
Again, SMU with the ball, like you said, down 2 possessions. So our championship tomorrow. Everybody coming into this was talking about, hey, maybe Villanova, Arizona. It's Villanova, Northern Iowa, and if SMU hangs on, we may have a 7th place meeting between number 2 Arizona and number 18 Purdue.
I want to know the person who predicted this, because that person should start filling out his brackets right now in March, play the lottery, and head over to the casino tonight.
Can we get Joe Lunardi on these early season tournaments as well? Feast week on ESPN is
nothing like it.
Yeah.
Nothing like it. Early season tournaments, high-level competition. The underdog, this means so much to the team coming in that's not ranked. They're trying to establish themselves. They're trying to get confidence. They're trying to build their resume.
Dylan Smith, he's hanging his head next to Ayton, who has a double-double today, but he's on the bench. And Arizona just has to foul immediately, right, Paul?
This is a quick foul, and maybe a quick steal first, but definitely a quick foul.
Let's see. Into Milton. Almost a 95% free throw shooter. Going to the line. It's the 3rd on Emmanuel Acott. SMU. 30 wins a season ago. A school record, and they ran into a bad matchup at the NCAA tournament against USC, was bounced opening weekend. Now, they could be leaving the Bahamas still with 1 more game to play with a victory over number 2.
Their defense tonight has been terrific. Arizona has shot 48%, but only 26% from 3. Did a great job on the offensive glass. They've earned this victory.
SMU takes down number 2. Consecutive nights in the Bahamas. Yesterday, it was NC State. And tonight, the Mustangs, they outlast Arizona. Shake Milton and SMU, they hit their free throws down the stretch. They played defense. They were active tonight.
They had 3 guys in double figures. It was Ben Amelagu making the 3-ball, taking the lead for SMU. Shake Milton comes up with 14. Total team effort. I'll tell you what, SMU on the glass, so impressive tonight.
Ben Amelagu, 20 points to lead the way for the Mustangs. And tomorrow they take on Western Kentucky, the other matchup in the 7th place game, Arizona against Purdue. And don't forget, the championship at 12 Eastern tomorrow on ESPN2. It's Villanova and Northern Iowa, Tennessee, and NC State to play in the 3rd place game. The Bad Boy Mowers battle for Atlantis concludes tomorrow. Every game has been close. It's going down to the wire. And we'll see if tomorrow the trend continues, Paul.
Well, Arizona or Purdue, somebody's going to get a win over a ranked opponent tomorrow.
Final score, SMU takes down number 2, 66-60. The final score for Paul B. and Cardi, our entire excellent crew tonight. I'm Kevin Fitzgerald saying, well, thanks for joining us and a happy Thanksgiving. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live on the ESPN app. Watch this entire game on replay as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks. All you have to do is log on to thewatchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.